Let's go ahead now and bring in the panel. We got civil rights attorney Leo Terrell and former Obama economic advisor Robert Wolf. Both gentlemen are Fox News contributors, fortunately for us. Leo, let's start with you. The reports were that former President Trump did not want this meeting. He did not want to agree to it, at least, because he feels this whole thing is a witch hunt, in his words, and that accepting this meeting today would sort of legitimize the prosecution. Why do you think he decided and his team decided to go forward?
Because it's at least an opportunity for his attorneys to convince Jack Smith, like Andy said, that these charges are very weak, and they are the weakest of all the charges being brought against Trump. And I'll tell you right now, the fact, Jillian, that we have not had an indictment made against Trump on the January 6th indicates to me that there might be some reconsideration, especially in light of what happened 24 hours ago, because I think this is all political. If anyone honestly believes that this is really based on legal foundation, they are naive. This is a political decision being made by Jack Smith.
When you say 24 hours ago, I assume you mean the fact that Hunter Biden's plea deal fell apart in that preliminary court hearing. Robert, do you see it that way? Do you see the events of yesterday tied to whatever is transpiring for former President Trump today?
I don't, but I'm on TV today with two lawyers, so I'm over my skis on this one. You know, from my perspective, I'm just exhausted about talking about what happened years ago in an election that was already decided. I would love to see some sort of settlement, and so we can move on as a country. We're so polarized. This just revs things up. I mean, the one thing I would say, with not here to disrespect President Trump at all, but I don't think whether this idea of chaos or tumultuous has anything to do with the rule of law. I think the reason America is because we have a rule of law versus all the other third world countries. And I think we have to stick to the facts. I'm glad the lawyers went in today. Maybe there's something that comes out of it where we can move forward.
Leo, I understand, that a lot of Americans are fatigued talking about January 6th, relitigating what happened, the election of 2020, but it's not ancient buried history. The same president who presided over the events is now the front runner for 2024. This is happening.
And that's a great question, Jill. Let me just respond. I think we have to be upfront and honest. The reason why Trump is ahead right now is because the American public understands the rule of law has been thrown out the window, Jillian. Because we see like I mentioned, the Hunter Biden situation. I can ask my colleague friend Robert, hey, isn't there another classification document case involving Joe Biden? Where is it? Crickets. And I'll tell you right now, President Trump could be indicted 50 times, and he's going to still be the Republican nominee, and in my opinion, the president of the United States next year. Why? Because the American public gets it. We're not inside the Beltway outside of Washington, D.C. They understand that President Trump is being treated unfairly.
Just to talk politics for a moment, Robert, it's certainly enough for Trump right now in the polls. He just leapfrogged ahead of Governor Ron DeSantis in the primary. Is outrage and resentment among conservative Americans and some liberals about the way Trump has been treated in the judicial system enough to kind of propel him to re-win the presidency again?
So I would frame it a little differently. One, months ago, I was on this show, actually, and I said that Trump would be the Republican nominee. That's when he and DeSantis was more neck and neck. In my opinion, DeSantis has a glass chin. He has not shown that he is ready for prime time to run this nation, so it does not surprise me. Number two, unlike the Democratic primary where you have proportion wins, this is for the most part winner takes all. President Trump is going to have a plurality of most states. So unless there's some unforeseen thing happens or on the debate stage, they actually decide to take on President Trump, President Trump will be the nominee. I mean, I've always said, all these people thinking they're going against Biden, they're going against President Trump today. To get in the ring with Biden, they got to get past President Trump. I don't think they will. I think it will be, once again, Trump-Biden. My opinion's very different than Leo. I think Biden's going to win. I think the moderate moderates, and even moderate Republicans are going to be supporting President Biden this time around.
And as of now, things may change, but as of right now, front runners on both sides have no interest in debating. So we'll have to see how that all plays out. Leo and Robert, thanks so much for taking time for us today. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jillian.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Jillian.
You bet.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.